As September unfolds, the United States finds itself on the brink of a significant weather transition. The days begin with a gentle, almost deceptive calm, as if summer is reluctant to let go. Across much of the country, the air feels warmer than usual for this time of year, and the sun lingers a little longer in the sky, casting a golden glow over city streets and neighborhoods. Temperatures are climbing to levels that feel more like the height of summer than the early days of fall. Parks and outdoor spaces fill with people soaking up the unexpected warmth, many dressed in t-shirts and shorts, enjoying what feels like a bonus round of summer. This sudden shift is especially noticeable after several weeks of unseasonably cool gray weather in the Midwest and along the East Coast. Residents who had already pulled out their jackets and sweaters are now surprised by the return of balmy afternoons and sun-drenched mornings. According to the National Weather Service, the outlook for September 18th through the 22nd highlights a broad swath of above-average warmth stretching from coast to coast. Weather maps light up with orange and red, signaling a widespread surge in temperatures that will be felt across nearly every region. The most pronounced heat will settle over the central and interior eastern United States, where cities and towns will bask in sunshine and warmth. For many, it's a final, fleeting taste of summer before the inevitable arrival of autumn's chill. Outdoor cafes buzz with activity, and late summer clothing makes a comeback. Along the coasts, however, the ocean's moderating influence keeps the heat in check. Here the warmth is gentler, tempered by cool breezes and the steady rhythm of the waves, offering a more comfortable transition between seasons. But this spell of warmth is only temporary. Long-range weather models are already hinting at a dramatic pattern reversal around September 20th. A strong cold front is poised to sweep southward, bringing with it gusty winds, falling leaves, and a sharp drop in temperatures that will remind everyone that autumn is truly on the way. So, while the coming week promises pleasant, even idyllic conditions, it's important to remember that this is just a brief pause. The skies may be clear now, but change is on the horizon and a more volatile, colder pattern is set to take hold soon. This period of warmth is the calm before a true autumn shift. To the north, colder air is quietly gathering strength, ready to surge southward and transform the landscape. As the leaves deepen in color and the mist rises over northern forests, the stage is set for a dramatic change, reminding us that in weather as in life, calm is often just the prelude to something new. To understand the upcoming warmth, let's look back at how this season began. The story of autumn's arrival this year is one of surprises and sharp contrasts, setting the stage for the weather roller coaster we're about to experience. In late August and early September, much of the country was caught off guard by an unusual chill. Instead of the lingering summer warmth we often expect, cities from the Midwest to the Northeast saw people reaching for jackets and sweaters far earlier than usual. Parks that are typically filled with shorts and t-shirts were dotted with folks bundled up against the cool breeze. This abrupt change was driven by a positive PNA pattern, a weather setup that anchored warmth in the west, while a deep trough in the jet stream funneled cold air straight into the heart of the central and eastern U.S. The result, a dramatic temperature divide across the nation. For nearly 2 weeks, communities from Chicago to Boston experienced temperatures that felt more like mid-October than early September. Leaves began to fall, and the crispness in the air was unmistakable. Many wondered if summer had ended overnight. This early taste of autumn stood in sharp contrast to the summer heat that often lingers well into September. Instead of easing into the new season, the country was thrust into a preview of what's to come, with temperature anomaly maps showing just how far below average it was for many. While the West basked in sunshine and above-average warmth, the rest of the nation shivered, a true tale of two weather regimes. The contrast was so stark that it almost felt like two different seasons were happening at once across the country. Now, as the positive PNA pattern begins to break down, the jet stream is shifting once again. Warmer air is poised to surge eastward, promising a noticeable rebound in temperatures. For many, this sudden warmth will feel even more dramatic after such a chilly start to the season. But don't get too comfortable. This pendulum swing won't last for long. Forecast models are already hinting at another even stronger push of cold air on the horizon. The next Arctic blast could bring another round of jacket weather, just as we start to enjoy the warmth. The transition to autumn is rarely smooth. As the atmosphere battles between lingering summer heat and advancing fall chill, expect more dramatic shifts ahead. This season is just getting started, and the weather story promises to keep us guessing. The immediate forecast through September 22nd is dominated by warmth, as a high-pressure ridge builds across the nation. Above-average temperatures will surge from coast to coast, especially in the central and interior eastern states. Cities like Chicago, St. Louis, and Indianapolis will enjoy a final burst of summer, perfect for outdoor plans. Coastal areas will be milder, with ocean breezes keeping temperatures in check. This warm spell is a clear but temporary break from the earlier chill. Enjoy it while it lasts. Long-range models show this pattern won't stick around. A major shift is brewing, and this warmth is just the calm before a much cooler, more turbulent pattern arrives. The stage is set for a dramatic weather reversal as September progresses. The real story begins after this warm week, when the atmosphere starts to shift in ways that will catch many off guard. As people soak up the last golden rays of late summer, few realize that a dramatic transformation is brewing just beyond the horizon. Forecast models, which have been closely monitored by meteorologists, are now in strong agreement on a major pattern change around September 20th. These models, using the latest data and advanced algorithms, are painting a clear picture of what's to come. A developing negative PNA pattern, essentially a large-scale atmospheric setup, will act as a highway, sending a surge of cold Arctic-influenced air deep into the heart of the central and eastern U.S. This isn't just a blip on the radar, it's a significant atmospheric event. This isn't a minor cooldown, it's the first real taste of late autumn for millions. Temperatures will drop sharply, and the sudden shift will be felt in daily routines. People will swap t-shirts for jackets, and the air will carry a crispness that signals the true arrival of fall. The cold will sweep in from the Rockies eastward, with the central and eastern states feeling the brunt. As the front advances, it will bring gusty winds, falling leaves, and a noticeable drop in temperatures that will be hard to ignore. This chill could persist through the end of September, making the last week feel dramatically different from the one before. Parks that were bustling just days earlier may empty out as the weather turns gray and brisk, and the landscape will quickly take on a more somber autumnal tone. While the exact timing and intensity may shift as new data comes in, the strong agreement among weather models gives forecasters high confidence in a significant cooldown. This rare consensus among models is a clear signal that a major change is imminent. The battle between lingering warmth and encroaching cold will be most intense around September 20th, 22nd. During this period, some regions may experience dramatic temperature swings within just a few hours as the two air masses collide. Residents should prepare for a swift, noticeable change as autumn asserts itself. Now is the time to dig out warmer clothing, check home heating systems, and get ready for the unmistakable arrival of a new season. While temperatures grab headlines, precipitation will be just as impactful, especially for the Rockies and central states. This region faces a stormy, unsettled pattern, with above-average rainfall expected over the next 2 weeks. The clash of warm and cold air will trigger rounds of showers and thunderstorms, fueled by Gulf moisture. Flooding risks will rise in the Central Plains and Rockies foothills, so residents should stay alert. This isn't a one-off event. Multiple rain chances will persist, moderating temperatures and keeping things unsettled. The storm track will stretch from Colorado and Wyoming eastward into the Mississippi Valley. Severe weather, including hail and strong winds, is possible with some storms. As the seasons shift, the heartland braces for a wet, energetic period. The southeast and coastal mid-Atlantic will see a dreary stretch from September 15th to 17th, as onshore flow brings steady rain and cool, gloomy conditions. Moisture from the Atlantic will drench areas from the Carolinas to Maryland, keeping temperatures suppressed and skies gray. Inland, the warm-up will be felt, but coastal cities like Charleston and Virginia Beach will remain damp and autumnal. By September 18th, the system weakens, but lingering clouds and drizzle may persist. The ground will stay saturated and the air damp, even after the main rain ends. After this, a brief drier spell is expected, but late September could bring another shift. Long-range models hint at renewed rain and even the potential for tropical activity as the month closes. The region should stay alert for changing conditions as autumn deepens. While some regions are drenched, the northeast and northern mid-Atlantic have grown increasingly dry, raising concerns for water supplies and agriculture. The upcoming warm-up won't help. High pressure will keep rain at bay for at least another week. However, a major pattern flip later in September could finally bring relief. Models suggest a storm system may arrive around September 24th, delivering much-needed rain as cold air pushes in. This clash of air masses could generate significant precipitation, ending the dry spell if the forecast holds. Still, confidence is low, long-range forecasts are notoriously tricky, and storm tracks can shift. Residents should monitor updates as the date approaches, hoping for a soaking that breaks the drought. The Northeast's weather story hinges on this potential late September storm. With hurricane season peaking, attention turns to the tropics. Models hint at possible activity offshore, though threats remain low for now. Of greater interest is the late September pattern shift, which could create an east-to-west flow from the Atlantic into the Gulf of Mexico. This setup is favorable for tropical development, potentially steering systems toward the U.S. Gulf Coast and southeast. Warm Gulf waters could fuel any disturbance, raising the risk for late-season storms. No specific storm is forecast yet, but the environment will be primed for development. Residents along the Gulf and southeast coasts should review hurricane plans and stay vigilant. The coming weeks are historically active for tropical systems. Preparedness is key. As September ends, the tropics will demand close attention. To sum up, the next 2 weeks bring a dramatic weather story for the U.S. The key window is September 20th-22nd, when a major shift from late summer warmth to Arctic-influenced chill will sweep the central and eastern states. The Rockies and central states face persistent storms and above-average rainfall, with flooding and severe weather risks. The southeast and mid-Atlantic will start with a rainy, cool spell, then watch for tropical threats as the month closes. The northeast's drought may finally break if a late September storm materializes. Across the country, this is a period of transition. Expect temperature swings, regional rain, and the ever-present risk from the tropics. Stay informed, stay prepared, and be ready for a dynamic end to September. Autumn's arrival will be anything but quiet.